While Paul Merson has captured the headlines this week with his deserved recall to the England squad, it would be fitting from Arsenal's point of view if the focus now shifted to Ian Wright. Cliff Bastin, whose goal-scoring record is now firmly in Wright's sights, played his last game for Arsenal exactly 50 years ago today. Pat Rice's last choice as the acting manager before the arrival on Monday of Arsene Wenger includes both Tony Adams and Lee Dixon. It's Andy Linegan who drops down to the substitutes bench. Team talk for Peter Reid must have been pretty easy. There's been so much discussion in the media about the 4 goals that would take Arsenal to the Premiership top. He knows his side has given little away with 6 clean sheets in 9 league and cup games. But of course he's without Niall Quinn, still injured, and Richard Ord is suspended, which means that Lee Howie, the elder of the 2 Howie brothers, makes his starting debut in the Premiership. As you can see, it's a lovely sunny afternoon. Just a slight breeze. Sunderland in the yellow strip. The man in charge is Paul Denson of Leby in Leicestershire. Stewart up on his own, getting a bit of support on one side from Ray and on the other side from Agnew. Can expect Ray, I think, to push up to be closest to Paul Stewart, but he's going to have a fairly busy, hard-running afternoon. Stewart. Steve Bold on the edge of the shadow of the stand. Long clearance, and for a moment it was 1-on-1. Appeal for handball. Didn't take Adams too long to raise the right arm. And put out of harm's way by Winterburn. Agnew will take the corner. And they've let it run. It's a bit short. Preempted by Platts, but the back heel a bit too clever. Not a corner. Problem with the sun for Peter Reid. Too many people have put the sunglasses away. Martin Scott started it. Stewart. It was intended as a shot, I think, and that's Stewart's. Alex Ray was certainly trying for the shot then from distance, but the ball arrived very conveniently for Stewart, who spun very quickly indeed. Piera. Given away. Gray. Handball. But Stewart thought he was pushed, but it's Stewart who is booked for use of the hand. And he felt that he was helped on his way here, and that brought the handball. Well, a combination of both, but no doubt that he raised his hand. Right. Collected by Bracewell. Agnew did well to come on his other foot, but then couldn't get the angle quite right. He was blocked going to his left. Preferred possibly anyway to come back onto his right. Good play by Paul Bracewell. Off balance was Winterburn by the turn, but then he couldn't curl to the top corner, which is what he was looking for. At that moment, the shot with the left was blocked, and the shot with the right in the end was inaccurate. Gray. In came Scott. And he was a bit wild then and is shown the card. Dixon gets to his feet. Martin Scott's the player who was booked. Bold. Harry Bracewell having to work hard. Harry again. firm in the challenge that time. Ray. Adams. Certainly doesn't look as though he's been out for so long, Adams. It's a little football for Arsenal since the turn of the year, and the referee is coming across and wants words for that challenge. And it's words that could cause a problem here, because it's Martin Scott who made the challenge, and he booked him just a moment ago. You can feel and hear the anticipation in the crowd. Second yellow, 2 yellows equal 1 red. He didn't even wait to see the red, he was already walking off. Stretch for the ball. Dixon felt the weight of it. Completely missed it, but he certainly caught Dixon on the 2 bookings. He was just... And Peter Reid very unhappy with the verdict. But it's a combination of the 2 cards, and this is where the problem of 2 yellows equaling 1 red come in. They were both cards for tackles, but Sunderland, who've been playing so well, suddenly find themselves reduced to 10 men. It was bad timing and no more, but Paul Danson has dismissed Peter Reid from the bench as well, and suddenly everything is going wrong for Sunderland. Here, by Melville. Harry's head that got there first. Right, blocked on the line. Winterburn. Melville again doing good work. It's he who cleared from the line and he who headed out. Looks a shade calmer now. Stewart goes down. The free kick is against him for the handball, for which he was booked once and seeking to gain advantage. Oh no! He's off. Second yellow card for 2 deliberate handball. And that sums up the entire position, not only for Peter Reid, but one would suggest for the game as a whole. The referees applying the letter of the law, but that has resulted in 2 players being sent off. The first for 2 poorly timed tackles, the second of which, in my opinion, was not as vicious as it might have looked. And now Stewart is booked for handling the ball twice. Sunderland are down to 9 men. Referee has a strong look at the watch and blows his whistle for half-time, and certainly plenty for the spectators to discuss during the half-time interval, especially those who support Sunderland Football Club. What will their manager find now to say to his team? On we go with 11 against 9. Sun seems to have disappeared behind the clouds. And it will be asking a lot to expect Sunderland to survive for the next 45 minutes as well. Just hope nobody will come up with the line, should that happen, if it's difficult to play against 9 men. Keane. That's a good attempt, a good save. Can he recover? With a bit of help. Did. Just a fingertip away, Tony Coton. And he was able just to help smother the follow-up. Merson to take the corner. Up by Howie. Bracewell. It's going to be difficult to play. I suspect it's even worse to watch. Finds Hartson. Platt! Acrobatic, but in the end not dramatic. Skewed off the outside of the boot. Right. Vieira did well to reach it with his long legs. And Tony Coton brought into serious action at long last. It's well reached by Vieira. Right. It's Arsenal who are the side looking anxious. Here's Shaw. It's a better cross, and it's finally in. And it took the substitute to provide a decent cross, and Hartson coming in after Adams had missed contact finally gets the ball past Tony Coton. Search will be on for 3 more goals, which will put them in first place. That's Shaw. He's making an impression. Paul Shaw, 23 years old he is. Spent more time playing for Burnley and Peterborough on loan than he has for Arsenal. Came off the outside of the boot, the shot. Ball. Bridges just a hair away from making a telling touch. Merson. Shaw. Parlour. Right just inside him too at the far post. Oh! For so long he sat on the bench wondering why the rest of the Arsenal players couldn't do just that. Bit late in the day, but he's shown them how. Sheer power from a difficult angle in off the far post. It is, as they say, all over now. Craig Russell. Well, Arsenal won the match. Sunderland won the day. For 34 minutes, their 9 men prevented Arsenal from scoring. In the end, it reached the inevitable result. It's the Sunderland supporters who can be proud of their team, although it has to be said that in the modern climate, 2 of their players contributed to what in the end was a defeat.
I thought Scott's tackle on Dixon was a good one, and then Stewie, I thought we were going to get a free kick. The second one, believe it or not, I thought Boldy's pushed him in the back. We're going to get a free kick.
You're an optimist, aren't you?
Honestly, so I wasn't happy. I mean, my reaction with the first sending off wasn't the best, and I do apologise for that. But that's the way I am. You know, I can't change. But my players did me proud, and I thought we were just going to nick it. But I'm a dreamer, like you say. I'm an optimist.
Would you argue with the first booking for the handball against Stewart?
I mean, I've seen it go in the box, and he said he was pushed, but I mean, if football's about competing against each other, and I thought, I just want common sense. I want what everybody wants. I want common sense, and I felt sorry for the Arsenal lads, because it's hard to, believe it or not, it's hard to break us down. I mean, you're supposed to slaughter 9 men, and we did smash it. But as a spectacle, people will pay good money, and it wasn't there today.
What was the feeling in the dressing room at half-time? Amazement, really. You know, the manager was walking around with his shaking his head. We're trying to pick the 2 lads that had been sent up, and we just said we've got to get on with it, and we just set out to, got our instructions off Bobby Saxton and tried to play to them.
It has spoiled the game, and you've got to feel sorry for Paul Stewart. You know, 2 handballs which weren't stopping the scoring. Maybe the other bloke should have gone, but Paul Stewart, I don't think, definitely should not have gone.
As you said, 3 more points. Be a nice position to be in when Mr. Wenger arrives.
Yeah, very much so. You know, we are playing well. It was hard today, but we're playing good football, and to be second in the league for what we're supposed to have gone through in the last 4 or 5 weeks is great.
4 matches. They've all had something on them, haven't they, to put it mildly?
Yeah, but the players have been brilliant. The players, you know, they've gone out, they've given their all, they've worked hard, and I can't praise them too highly.
When you look at the game in general now, it's a massive game, and the people in charge on the football pitch aren't professional. I think that's the only way I can get that across, and it needs sorting out.
Well, Trevor, let's see if we can sort out these decisions anyway. Justified sendings off or not?
I think certainly the first one was. He had 2 bookable offences. The 2 handballs for Paul Stewart, though, I think was, especially the second one, was ridiculous, really. But I think, generally speaking, if you look at Paul Danson, the referee's record, I mean, 4 Premiership matches this season, 25 bookings, suggests he's very strict. So I would have thought the players might have been forewarned that they should be on their toes. But you know, these 2 tackles by initially by Martin Scott, his first touch lets him down, and then really frustration, he follows through. I've seen referees send off straight away with a red card for that high tackle.
That's dangerous, though.
That is extremely dangerous, and that then should say to the player, well, 3 minutes later, I better be a bit careful. This one I didn't think was as reckless, mistimed it. Lee Dixon got the first touch, but again he followed through, and you know, having just been booked for a bad tackle, 3 minutes before, I just think that the player's let himself down, and I think Paul Danson was quite right. And so you're 20 minutes into the game, you've already lost the player, and don't forget Paul Stewart's already been booked at that stage. Although the second one, I think, was extremely unfair.
Well, you mentioned that. Let's look at that now.
This is the first. I mean, Michael Gray, who did very well, a good cross. He's got the wrong side of Steve Bold. Says he was nudged. I'm not sure about that. I think he then throws himself forward and tries to slap it with his hand. And in those situations, the referee could say, well, he was trying to cheat and score a goal or ungentlemanly conduct, whatever. So the caution, let's accept that one. This one, I just can't fathom out. I must say, like Peter Reid, I thought it was a free kick for Sunderland. He, I think, gets nudged in the back. Some people say, why are his arms up there? But I think, from this angle, he goes up with his arm, Steve Bold, nudges him in the back, and that's when the arms go up almost to catch the ball, expecting to get the free kick. I mean, there's no goal-threatening situation, and for me, the handball, the caution is when ball's going to play through, somebody's going to have a clear run on goal, and the person catches it or deliberately handballs it. I mean, that's a red card offence. Or if he's stopping the ball going into the goal, that situation there, the second one, for me, should not be a cautionable offence. And I think we've got to have some consistency. I've seen some given, but that one to actually reduce Sunderland to 9 men, I thought made it a farce.
It was absurd, and it's a shame, really. I mean, with 10 men, the game can still continue. You can have a reasonable match, but with 9, Sunderland had no choice but to try and defend, and it ruined what looked like being a quite promising match.
Yes, I mean, in the end, they've apologised for whacking the ball into touches far away from their goal, and it was attack against defence, a case of will they hold out. I think Sunderland played very well for half an hour. Peter Reid said they're well organised defensively. Just played the one-up, so I suppose they set their stall out to get perhaps a point. But I think Arsenal, if you look at it from their point of view, second in the table, and without a manager up until now, although I do think Arsene Wenger will introduce changes, but perhaps not major ones until the next close season.
Okay.